Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So today we're going to take a look at the D1 drone, and basically this is a super mini quadcopter that kind of comes in its own. Basically I would categorize it as a super nano. It's smaller than any nano I've seen before, so this is going to be very interesting. It comes with a controller, and it's kind of has its controller as its storage case as well. And we're going to go ahead and do a full review on this, take it out of the box, do an initial assessment, do some flying with it in the house and maybe outside, and see how it flies. Come on back, get some video of it, come on back and do a final pros and cons. So let's go ahead and get started. So it looks like the company is DHD-RC and they're calling it the Drone D1, and it does all the normal flight modes, and it also does flips as well. So this one is a review model from banggood.com, and I'll have the links in the description of where you can pick this up. Okay, so pulling it out of the box, we're getting, it looks like 4 extra propellers and a charger on the bottom, as well as the manual. And then the only other thing in the box is the controller with the Nano Quad. Okay, so initial impressions. You got your battery door, 2 AAA batteries. Battery door snaps in nice and tight. It's a little bit of a larger controller than a lot of the Nano controllers, so it'll fit a little better in adult hands and larger hands than those Nano ones. And basically you've got this little protective holder case, this clear holding case for the little Nano here. And this thing is darn small. I haven't seen one this small yet, so this is going to be a new record in my book as far as world's smallest nano quadcopter. Let me get in a little bit closer so you guys can see this in detail. So it looks like it's well built. It looks like it's sort of the same kind of build as, say, a Cheerson CX-10 type of nano quadcopter. Built-in battery. And it also has an on-off switch here. If you can see that there, it's got an on-off switch on the side, and basically pretty basic. And then on one side here, it looks like this must be the little charge port. It's just basically this little part of the circuit board that's sticking out with a couple of contacts on there that you would just slide in the charger, and then you charge this on any cell phone wall plug charger or computer to charge it up. So just to give you a quick little comparison of how this one sizes up compared to, say, the CX-10 line here. So here's the D1. This one here is the original CX-10, Cheerson CX-10, and then this one is the CX-10C with the little camera on there. So you can see the size difference. It's significantly smaller. Then I was looking around for the battery power, battery mAh, the size of the battery, and I finally found it on the box here. It's 3.780 mAh, so smaller battery for a smaller quadcopter. I think that's kind of neat how you can just store the quadcopter right in this little case and stick this thing in your pocket. That's kind of a neat feature they implemented there. But anyway, you get the instruction book here, and just by looking at the controls real quick, it looks like your the left stick's going to be your rate control. So you click it in, and you're going to get several different rates. We'll test how that goes. And then you've got your throttle up and down and your yaw for turning left and right. Then on the right stick, of course, you have your basic forward, backward, tilt, and pitch movement, and then you have your roll left and right. And then the clicking in here and moving this control up, down, left, right would give you your flips. So any direction after you click in will flip. So here it looks like this is kind of like a trim button here. This will be your trim for your pitch and your roll on the right. And then on the left hand side here, it says unable. So looks like this doesn't do anything. So anyway, basically, not seeing a screwdriver in this box. It shows that there is one in the manual, but there's no screwdriver in the box for me on this, which you probably won't need. But if you did want to change the battery, you're going to have to find a little Phillips screwdriver. If your battery ever goes bad and you need to change it, there's these 4 screws on the bottom. you're going to need to take out with a tiny screwdriver. So anyway, the manual just goes through all of the modes and how to fly it, and then also how to do the accelerometer alignment. It looks like you do with the left-hand throttle, which I have here. You do, well, it's all powered up. You do the left stick down left and the top stick up left on a level surface, and that will recalibrate the gyro if it's flying kind of weird. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get this thing charged up and going to take it out, possibly do some outside flying as well as definitely some inside flying, and just see how it does. Come on back to the table and do kind of a final pros and cons assessment and see just how this thing did. So let's go flying. Okay, so we're in the house with this tiny little Nano guy. And I'm going to do a house flight, see how it does. Okay, so keep in mind that the back is not the side where the switch is. That's the side, and then the back is going to be where the charge port is. Okay, seems pretty stable so far. There's a hands off. Not bad. Yeah, it's just kind of cruising around, pretty stable. So let's see what happens really quick if we just cut off the transmitter. So turning off now. Okay, so it almost immediately just drops out of the sky, which is good because you don't want this thing flying away on you if you go out of range. So hopefully you won't have a flyaway. So we're in rate 1, forward and back, full forward and back, and left and right. Okay, so if I click in the right thumbstick, ooh, nice little flips. Clicking in the right thumbstick, and then you hear the beeps, pressing any direction, and it flips really nice. It gives a boost to throttle, and it actually maintains its height pretty well without giving it any more throttle. So that's nice. Now I'm going to click in the left thumbstick. That's rate 2, a little faster. And then there's rate 3, which is even faster. So I'm already getting some blinking lights here. Well, the blinking lights went away when I went out of rate 3. So I guess it's blinking if you're in rate 3. It's good to know. So let's go through the yaw rates. So rate 1, yaw. Rate 2. And rate 3, interestingly, is super slow for some reason. Actually, that's headless mode. Okay. So 3 clicks in on the left thumbstick puts you in headless. So I am rotating. It slows down the yaw a lot, but I can push right on the right thumbstick to go right, left to go left, forward to go forward, backward to go back, no matter which yaw bearing I'm in. And it seems to be working pretty well. It's slightly skewed to the left, but that's tolerable. For a beginner flyer, you know, you might want to put it in headless mode so you can control it without having a nose or a tail. And then to go out of the headless mode, all you're doing is clicking in the left thumbstick again, and that brings you back to rate 1. And then I'm going to go up to rate 2. So let's see what the lift's like from a hover. Actually pretty good lift for this little tiny guy. Okay, let's just try doing some flying around. Surprisingly easy to fly. And this little guy, you're probably not going to want to fly it anywhere except the house. So I think I'm just going to, this review is going to strictly be in the house here. I will take it upstairs, see if it does drop out of range. I do have fresh batteries in the controller. So I'm going up by the wireless router there, so not feeling any interference. So that was a good 50 feet. Trying to go all the way to the door up there. Try to go all the way to the wall. Okay, so that's a good 50 feet. No problems with range. Okay. So we're getting at least 50 feet. Okay, so there's the low level battery lights blinking. You get like a double blink. And we're just going to see what happens. Okay, so on full throttle, it's landing. And we're getting the low voltage cut off, so you won't ruin your battery. Great, okay. Good test on this guy.
Hey guys, welcome back. So, back to the bench here with the D1 Nano quadcopter. And I have to say I am very impressed with this tiny little quadcopter here, this nano quadcopter, or even sub-nano. For the nanos that were out recently, like the CX-10, this basically kicks it up a notch. You get headless mode in a very super small package, and it works really well. I'm going to go over a couple of pros and cons now with this guy, and just see how it did. I only tested it in the house. I didn't get a chance to go outside, and really, I mean, this is kind of only a house flyer anyway. It's so small that I don't even know if you'd like to take it outside. Just in case you lost it, it would be so hard to find. So I just did my tests in the house in a no-wind environment, and I'm going to go through some of the things now. So first of all, it's very stable flyer for how small it is. I was very impressed how stable it was. It did have a headless mode, which worked very well. It had 2 rates, and for the pitch and roll, so it had like a slow and a fast pitch and roll. And then also the yaw was the same between both rates. So it had kind of a medium yaw. And then if you noticed in the headless mode, the yaw got really slow. So that was the only difference in yaw. When you went to headless mode, it got super slow. It did have very good lift for how small it is and how small the propellers are. I was really surprised at how good the thing had some lift coming up at full throttle. Really impressed with the flips. When you turn the transmitter off, it just drops, so that's good. If you do end up flying it outside and you lose connection, supposedly you won't have a flyaway. It should just drop after connection loss. And then I tested the range in the house. I kind of went up into the upstairs stairway and up into the upstairs, which was about 50 feet, maybe a little over 50 feet. And it seemed to have perfect range, fine control at 50 feet. So here I'm saying this is a over 50-foot range copter, even though it's so small, it still has decent range for this size. So we're just last but not least, we're going to get into the flight times. And so before the low voltage lights would blink, I got 4 minutes and 10 seconds. And I usually do like 3 flights before I do the battery time testing, the flight time testing. So it gives the battery a few times to cycle through, and then another 20 seconds until it started to go into its forced landing. And it also did have a low voltage cutoff, so that's good, so you won't kill your battery. Anyway, guys, if there was ever a tiny quadcopter in the sub-nano realm that you should get, this is probably it. As far as what I've reviewed so far, I like this. Probably one of the best out of all the nanos I've reviewed. If there was one con, it would be about the charger. If they could somehow, it's so cool how the quadcopter just fits in the controller like this. So you can just kind of put it in there and go around with it, carry it around with you. If there was some way they could fit the charger in the controller somewhere as well, that would make it a complete package. You know, like just maybe some kind of sliding notch. I mean, this is mostly hollow in here anyway, so if they could just have some kind of compartment where you could stuff the charger in there as well, that would really close the deal for kind of an all-in-one controller carry package for such a great little quadcopter, nano quadcopter like this. But anyway, guys, again, this was a review model from banggood.com. I will have the links in the description of where you can purchase this. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with this again. Really liked it, and I hope they continue. This company, DHD-RC, continues to make good products like this because, in my book, this is a winner. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.